Susmita. Hi, Sagar. Good morning. Hi, Nasrin. I'm good, ma. Good. Okay, so let's jump on. So, guys, did you completed all your practicals? Everyone? Nice. Good. So, what do we do is let's jump on and then do a little bit more also there. Let me share my screen. Can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay. Let's log in. Okay. So let's go to IAM. All right. So guys, yesterday what we did, we created groups, we created users, right? And we have done a lot, right? And we saw the groups also. So if you go into the groups, we can see which are the users are there inside the group and what are the permissions that it has and what's the access advisor, right? And then we saw users and users. If you go inside the user, we saw permissions, groups, tags, security credentials, access advisor and all, right? And now today, let's talk about these two things, policies and roles. So first of all, I think it's a wise, good idea to talk about policies, right? So you know very well, there are two types of policies mainly. What are those? Yes, managed policies and inline policies. So we saw yesterday we saw yesterday this managed policies. And today now, let's go and see the customer managed policy. So guys, if you are going and creating a policy by yourself, and what is that policy called? That policy is called inline policy. That policy is called inline policy. If you are creating by yourself, those are inline policies. So I told you that, guys, policies are written in which language? Which format? In JSON. So if you go and click on create policy, let's go ahead and create a policy, guys. Click on create policy. So I told you that, do you remember we discussed about visual editor? I told you that, you can go and just select the visual editor and parameters and automatically JSON script will be generated. So yes. So guys, if you know the JSON script, you can just go ahead and then you can go ahead and put it over here. Now, if you don't know how to write the JSON script, guys, you just select based on the GUI here and automatically JSON script will be generated. So guys, now, which is the service? Let's go and create one policy. Which is the service that you know in and out at the moment, out of all the services here? Which one do you know? Which which service do you know? Do you know EC2? Did we learn EC2 at all? Then I am only, na? Then so guys, let us create a policy which is related to the IAM, right? Okay, so guys, from managed policy, we know that in managed policy, we have IAM read-only permissions and IAM full access, yes or no? Managed permissions, yes. But here, let us not go for full access, or let us not go for read-only access. Let us go for something little bit different. Let's say, for example, I need a policy where the user can create only users and groups, nothing else. The users can create only users. The user can create only users and groups, nothing else. So for that, how do we write a policy? Let's see. So guys, here choose a service. Click on it. And which is a service that we should choose? Guys, you can write a service for all. See, so all the services will be here. But we are now interested in writing related to IAM. So let's select IAM. So when you select IAM, here you have see manual actions. You can add actions, or do you see this here? All IAM actions. That meaning IAM colon star. What is the meaning of star? Star meaning full access. So do you need, if you select this, you will get full access. But do we need full access now? No. For full access, you have already managed policy called IAM full access. But now let us not go for full access. Guys, now I am allowing it. If you want to switch to deny permissions, you can switch to deny. But by default, it is allow. Whatever you want to allow it, allow. And rest everything will be deny. Yes or no? Whatever you want to allow it. Rest everything will be deny. If you switch to deny, you deny something else and rest everything will be allowed. Got it? Okay. Now, do you see this in access level? We have list, read, tagging, write, permissions, management. If we expand list, so these are all the parameters that do we have in the list. List meaning listing it. So whenever any user log into this IAM, so does he need to list groups? Yes. Does he need to list users? Yes. Do you see this? And what all does he need to list access keys if you want? Uh, Based on your guys, do you have any questions, sir? Why you are selecting only those? Guys, my screen is small or it is okay? Guys, is it okay for you? Okay, now? Okay. So guys, it's purely based on your requirement. Okay. Yeah, I have already zoomed. Okay. So now if you want to list the roles, you can list the roles, right? You can list the policies. See, you can list the policies. Understood? So based on your need MFA devices, if you want to list MFA devices, list it. So based on your requirement, you can choose it. That is a list for me there. Okay. And then in case of read, that's what are the things that the user needs to read? Get user, get group. Huh? What else? In list, what we have selected? Policies, get policies. See, guys, do you understand? You're getting it, guys. You are getting it. So based on your requirement, you need to select it. That's it. And in tagging, the user, guys, you are writing a policy. This policy need to tag it. Okay, you want to tag it? Tag it. Tag the user. Or if you don't want to tag it, just don't leave it. Just leave it. Remember, we used to write, we used to add a tags for the IAM users. So if you don't want to tag, don't give any permissions, right? And in write, and what are the things that he can write it, guys? So he can create user, he can update user, he can create group, he can update. Do we have any update group? Update group, right? See, right? You want to delete the user? Okay, give permissions. Delete user. Do you understand? So based on the requirements, you just need to go ahead and choose it. Understood? So I selected those, and then permissions management. And what the user wants to do, what the permissions want. Does he want to attach any policies? Because we used to attach the policies to the IAM user, right? So does he need to attach any policy? Does he able to create any policy? See. So does he need to delete the policy? Does he need to what? Based on your requirement, you just go ahead and select it. Attach the user policy. Understood? So based on the requirement, you need to choose this. These are all the access levels. And guys, you have selected all these things. For which resource that you have selected? Do you see this here? We have resources. If you expand this, do you see this? You want to see, you want to list groups, list policies, list users. Guys, these are the things that you have selected by yourself now, just now. List groups, list policies, list users. Guys, list group. What are the groups that you want to list it? There are many groups. What are the groups that you want to list it? Right? You want to list and ARN. Do you see this here? You want to list all groups, or you want to list DevOps group? Just put here. What is a group? You want to give DevOps group? Guys, if you want to specifically put the ARN here of that particular group. Or if you don't want, put it any. If you select any, that meaning for all groups, you can list it. But if you want to specifically list particular group, select it. So I just put DevOps group. Add it. Guys, understood? You want this right in this account, any in this account. If you want to select this, you can select it. Oh, but that's got removed. So here I'll put it again, DevOps. Add it. See? So here policy, you said like you want to list policies or get policy. What policy that you want to get it? You want to get only particular policy, or you want to get any policy? Select any policy. And which user that you want to specifically get it? You want to get the user called Ria, get it, or you want to user everything, get it. Guys, and then if you specifically here, if you select all resources, it will be applicable for the entire resources. That meaning completely star. You're getting it how to find out how to add it to particular user and all, or particular resource. Everyone. Right? So these policies you will get habituated once you keep on getting experience on this. But at least you understood what to select and how to select the resources and all. But if you select all resources here, guys, if you select all resources, it will be applicable. This will be applicable for anything. But if you want to do for specific, again, Howla, it's gone. So DevOps. So add get, I will go for any policy. And here I will go for any user. If you want to specific to particular user, give the specific username there. Right? And then here we have also request conditions. These are all optional for you. So guys, you can set the conditions also. So if you want to do all these things, MFA is required for him. Yes, select it if MFA is required or not. And you can set it. Okay, this particular, all these things should be happening only to this particular IP. Let's say, for example, what is my IP? See, guys, this is the IP. So you can set it. All these actions should be happening only from this particular IP. Don't worry. What is /69? What is 32? Don't worry on it. We'll discuss later. Do you understand? You can set the range. So if you attach this policy to any user, that user should be from this particular IP address, then only he can do. So these are all your optional, guys. If you want to tighten the security, you can just go ahead and then do all these things. And if you click on JSON, do you see this? JSON script has been already generated automatically. Guys, it's not a rocket science to see it. Do you see this here? See version statement. Version statement is here. And see, effect is allow. Did we allow or did we deny? Did we select deny? Allow. And what are the things that we have allowed? We can create a group, get policy, update user, update group, delete user, get create user, get group. And group is related resources. Which resource? DevOps. Policy, all. Users, for all. And multi-factor authentication condition is true. And which IP address? This IP address. And we have listed also, na? List policies, list user, list groups. Multi-factor is true. And from this IP address, the user can list policies, list users, and list groups. Do you see this? How the JSON got? Can you easily understand this JSON code? Yes. So if you go to visualizer, this one. So based on a requirement, you have to just go and select it, and automatically JSON code is generated. And click on next. Next. And here just give some name like my test policy, and then create policy. See, my test policy has been created. See? And if you expand it, you can see all this here. So like this, guys, if you based on the requirement, you have to just go ahead and then create a policy. So let's say, for example, sample IAM policies. So if you go for this media, so okay, guys, can you tell me here? See this policy. Can you tell me what this policy is doing? See this version, leave it, statement, leave it, effect, allow, action, in action, what the things that he can do it, and which resource see it, and tell me. Full access. You have your get and list. That meaning it has full access. No. So here only get and list. Get and list are related to read only, na? So you are getting for IAM related service, you are get and listing everything for all resources. And okay, this one, do you see this here now? Allow, he can list user, list group, get, create, update, delete, create all these things for all resources, for entire resources. And he can getting account and listing account, all the details. And tell me this one. I'm just showing you whether you are able to understand the policies or not. Oh, yes, this is inline only, but what the policy is doing, tell me. Fantastic, right? So here allow, and which service that the policy is related to IAM, and add user to the group, remove user to the group, get group. So he's getting the group. Which groups? Developer and operators. These two groups he's getting it, and the user can add user to the group, and user can remove user from the group. Understood? See how the inline policies are getting it. Okay, now this is very easy. See the condition also. So if you attach this policy to any user, what will happen? The user will have full permissions to EC2 only for which region? In Mumbai region only. Do you remember? See, by default, everything, all regions he can launch it now. But if you go and write this inline policies like this, like if you put condition and string equals, and if you put like this, and then he has access only to Mumbai region. He has full access to EC2 provided he is coming from this IP. right? Understood? IAM related things. So at least you can go with these policies. It's very easy to understand, right? So based on the requirement, you just need to go ahead and then create the policies. Yes. Understood everyone, guys? How to create a policy? Everyone, CC? Yes. So based on your requirement, and guys, once you get habituated, then you will understand more and more much better. And don't worry, I'll give the task also here. You will get some little bit on hands-on. Okay. So this is about the policy. So the policy, uh, you can attach to any user, you can delete it, the policy. There is a question, which policy for what purpose we use? Is it possible to answer that question? So, okay, Shashank will answer it. Can you answer that, Shashank? See, Sagar, Rahul, they're answering correctly. So, guys, how do we know which policy is required, which policy is for what purpose we use? How do we know it, guys? So just now I have created this test policy. Based on the requirement, we have created the test policy. Now, what does this policy contain? He can create user, get policy, update user. So now I have a requirement. Okay, let's say Rahul has given me a requirement saying that, Riyaz sir, so can you create a policy where the user, whenever the user logged in, he should be able to create user, delete group, get policies. Nothing he should have access. So guys, without any requirement, can I assume and create a policy? You can answer that at least. Shashank, you said yes, na? Tell me, is it possible without any requirement? Can you go ahead and then create any policy? No, na, no, na. So there should be a requirement. And now the question that I have asked by Bhushan, which policy? For what purpose we use? Now you understood what is the purpose based on the requirement, na? So the purpose what I got is to create user, delete user, create group, update group, all this. This is the purpose. So what I did based on that, I just went and create the policy like this. And then this policy, I will be attaching it to some user. Okay, let's say, for example, I create a user here, add user. Let's say, for example, Chandan. So I create a user like this. Next. So now I have attached this policy. Which policy I can write? I test policy. I can attach it now. Inline policy. I create it. Guys, so now I created a user called Chandan. And then what policy that I have attached? That my test policy I have attached it. So that meaning whenever the Chandan has logged in, so what he can do? He can only do these things. Understood now? Shashank, Bhushan. Okay, good. Sir, maximum number of policy we can create. Answer it, guys. You know that already. So managed policy, guys, here now how many policies I have attached here at the moment? 2 policies. Like this, how many policies I can attach? 10 policies you can attach. But guys, if you write it in inline policy, can we write multiple things in one single inline policies? Yes, no. If you know how to write it in inline policy, then I can write it for IAM and I can write it for EC2. Everything in one shot, I can write it. Guys, recently, I think few months back, I wrote hundreds of lines of policy. I don't know. This is my new laptop. I don't have that policy here, but so there's question, why my test policy is showing managed policy in policy type? Where is that? policy type, managed policy. Chiti, AWS managed policy, managed policy. Managed policy meaning here what? Customer managed policy. Understood on the policies part? Huh? Right. So now, so there is a question, sir, here lots of policy available. So need to check all this. Do we need to check all these policies? No need. So based on the requirement only, you just need to go and get it. Don't go, your mind will go off if you go and see all the policies. Based on the requirement only, you have to go and select it. Yeah. Understood? So now we have seen the policies here. Coming to the roles. So what is a role? Oh, what is role? Eh? Role meaning designation. Anta. Oh, yeah. Okay. What is a role? Temporary access without credentials. Temporary access without credentials. Now, this is what we have learned. Temporary access without credentials. So now, do you remember, guys, roles, where do we create the roles? We can create the roles here. We can create the roles here in IAM section. But how to use the role, you need to wait for it. Because do you remember, we create a role and we attach it to the EC2 instance. We create a role and we will attach it to the Lambda function. This is what we have learned. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. But here, did we learn EC2 instance in order to attach the role to the EC2 instance yet? No, no. So here we will be learning how to create a role. That's it. But when we go to EC2, CloudWatch, Lambda, all these things, there we will use this. There we'll use this role in action. There we'll see the roles in action. But here at the moment, you should understand how to create a role. Understood? Let's say, for example, I take this example here. These are EC2 instances. So now I want to access from the EC2 instance, I want to access S3. Now tell me, is it good to provide the keys inside it? No. So now what we should we create in order to achieve this requirement? A role. So that meaning I need to create a role, na? A role. What does the role permissions should contain? What permissions should the role contain? S3 permissions. Very good. And then once we create the role and we should attach the role to this EC2 instance. Yes or no? But did we learn this EC2 instance yet? No. So that meaning we need to know how to create a role and attach the policy to the role. Na? Did we see that? Yes. How? Let's go here. And let's go to the roles here and click on create role. Okay. Once you click on create role, there are many things, trusted entity types. So here, based on a requirement, to whom you are attaching the role, to which service that you are attaching the role. Everyone should answer. I'm asking you, to which service you are attaching the role based on this requirement. EC2, no? Guys, I'm not talking about the permissions. I'm talking about to which service you are attaching it. EC2. So that meaning here, you need to select AWS service, no? So here you need to select common use cases. So mostly the roles concept you'll be using for EC2 and Lambda. If you want to other service also, you can select it. But here I need to select EC2 or Lambda. EC2, I need to select it. Do you understand what I need to select? So guys, I want to attach the role to the AWS service. So that's the reason why I have selected AWS service. and I need to attach it to EC2 or Lambda. I need to attach it to the EC2. Is this clear? This step one, selecting the trusted entity, and now slowly click on next. Okay, for this role, what kind of permissions that you want to attach it? S3, fantastic. Select S3, let's say full access, for example. Select this, next, bus my test role. Give the name, and this is a automatic JSON code that got automatically, we got it here. So STS assume role is related to the STS, meaning secure token service. Guys, secure token service, which is related to the roles only. And to which principal service that you are testing it? EC2, right? So this role is automatic. This JSON is automatically generated. So now click on, and which permissions that you have added? S3. Create role. That's it. Understood? Roles we have created here, but how to attach this role to the EC2 instance? When we go and learn EC2 section, there we will use the roles concept. But here for now, you should understand how to create a role. But do you all understood how to create a role? Okay, slowly, smooth as butter. So I'm click on create role again. So here I have selected AWS service. Guys, do you remember we discussed about switch role concept? Switching the role, that meaning between AWS accounts, right? So here I need to select first one, second one for the switch role. Third party. Second one, do you see this here? AWS account. So if you select this AWS account, do you remember the switch role concept? Everyone understood the switch role concept. We discussed about the switch role. So if other account wants to come in without IAM credentials, right? So here, okay. Which account? Okay, let's say, for example, everyone have their own account. Let's say, for example, we have Hari. Hari, you have your own AWS account ID, na? Give me that account ID, or whoever has account ID, give me. So here I'll put it as another AWS account ID. What is that account ID? Anyone give me one account ID. Account ID, not alias. So I take Kiran Wala. So I'm just giving for example. I put this account ID here. Okay. I'm putting this account ID. These are all options that if you want to have required MFA or not. And then sometimes that third party providers, they'll give some external ID. If you have external ID, just put that external ID. Otherwise, leave it. So click on next. Guys, do you see this here? You should understand properly. So I have two things, my account and then Hari account or Kiran account, whoever it is. And now this is Kiran account. This is Kiran's account and this is my account. So where I'm creating a role, I'm creating a role here, na? Right? Yes or no? So I'm in my account, I'm creating a role. So AWS account I have selected and I need to give which account ID here while creating a role. Kiran's ID I need to give. I've given. And now Kiran want to access what? In my, let's say, for example, he want to access S3. So click on next. And what kind of permissions that he want to access it? Let's say S3 full access. Select that. Click on next and give name Kiran's role, for example. And then create role. Okay, there is no alphabetic. Guys, do you see this? Now, if I click on Kiran's role, do you see this link which got generated here? And Can you hear me? So do you see this link here, switch role link that got, so do you all understood how to create a role and then attach it to the services? And also, do you know how to create a role to give the link to the third party providers or third party people? And you have to give this link to whom? To Kiran, you need to give this link, and Kiran, or he can go to this and then he can click on switch role also, or else he can go ahead and then use this URL also. Guys, do you see this in this URL? What do you have? Signin.aws console switch role question mark role name, Kiran's role. This is the role that I have created, na? And what account is this? This is my Ria Cloud account, na? So if you click on switch role also, I'm opening that switch role. If we click on switch role, do you see this? What is the account? So Ria Cloud is the account, right? Then should use it and role, Kiran's role. And display, you can give some name like, Ria's search account. And then click on switch role. And then and this will be done by the Kiran. And if Kiran did like this and click on switch role, and automatically without credentials, he will land in my account. Or he can use directly this link. And the Kiran will have access to what? To S3 only. Guys, do you understand how to create how to give permissions to the third party providers? Everyone, right? Very good. So these are the permissions. So anytime you can go ahead and then anytime you go ahead and then click on, you can add the permissions, you can remove the permissions, right? And then trust relationship, this is what we have given access to it. So assume role for this particular account to Kiran's account. Access advisor, you know very well what are the Kiran's. Kiran, we have given access to S3. So what he has access, when he has access, everything we can see it. And revoke session. So revoke session meaning whenever Kiran is doing something in my account and I want to take it off immediately, I click on revoke active sessions. Once I click on revoke active sessions, right? Revoke active sessions, all his active sessions will be gone. And how long he can do, how long he can access my account? Maximum session duration is 1 hour. So you can anytime edit it and put how many hours that you want. You can just go ahead and then put it how much. If you want to have minimum 1 hour here, go ahead for 2 hours, 4 hours, and you can go for the custom duration and you can put 1 to 12 hours maximum. So that much time the Kiran can be active in my account, right? And rest, like click on create role, and rest all web identity, SAML, and trust. All these are related to what? Identity federation. Do you remember we discussed about SSO? Right. So for that you need to add a provider, which can be Okta, or which can be Active Directory, which can be OAuth. You have to add the provider and you have to create a roles based on that. Is it clear on roles and policies, guys? Nice. And these are all jujube things like account settings, where if you want to change the passwords, you can give the difficult passwords, like that one small, one big one. If you want 8 characters minimum, you can give for all IAM users. Roles are service based. Is that correct? Roles are only service based. So roles can be attached to the users also. Just now we did it. For any resource, you can do it. Yeah. So guys, here we have analyzer, as I said. So you no need to go for this analyzer here, because if you have so many hundreds of IAM users, and if you want to review the findings, like, see, when access analyzer find a policy that allow access to a resource from outside of your zone of trust. So just in case, if something really fishy, then this analyzer will find it out, and then it can, and you can take the action based on it, right? So you can leave this, because this is yes, it is free, right? It is free for sure. And we have here credential reports. IAM is free, Khalid. Guys, you can download the report. If you download the report, all the IAM users will be get downloaded. If you click on download report, CSV file will be generated. See, status report. Do you see this? So Chandan, Ria, all the information, you will have it here. So if you have hundreds of IAM users, so if you can just go ahead and download report, you will get everything out there, right? These are generating the reports only. So as I said, IAM is all about users, groups, roles, and policies. And guys, do you remember we discussed about organizations? So we no need to go for organizations, because organizations is a separate service. So I'll just give a small overview on it. Managing multiple root accounts. Yes. So guys, if you go for these organizations, so Riyaz, so this is my email ID and this is my management account. That meaning this, can I say that this is my master account? This is my root account? Yes. So this is my main account. So can I, so now you have here add an AWS account. If you click on add an AWS account, so guys, you can create an AWS account directly from here itself. And if you create it directly, this will be the member of my main account. Or if I want Sagar or Kranti, Kiran, Hari, all these people, I want you guys to be a part of my main account. That meaning you will be the member account in my management account. I can invite you. If you give me your account ID, not now. So if you give me your account ID, I can just put multiple account IDs here, and I just click on send invitation, and you all guys will automatically get the invitation. And if you click on it, you will be in my account. You will be a part of member account in my main account. So either you can invite the people, AWS account, right? And then root account only as root users, right? And then, or else you can create your new AWS account. Guys, do not create any AWS accounts, because if you create any AWS account, it is very hard to go and delete that account again, because you are not creating the AWS account manually here. You are creating, this organizations is creating the AWS account, right? These organizations create an AWS account, and if you want to delete it, so you need to manually log into the account that this got created. You need to add the credit card details there. You need to, if there is any billing, just remove it and then close the account. Then only it will get closed here. So unnecessarily don't go into that kind of activities now at the moment, as you are in budding stage. But do you understand at least how the organizations work? Yes. So just be here till here only on this section. So yes. Understood. So I want you guys to do this practical. See this? Can you create a role and assign permissions? Yes. Can you create an inline policy by yourself? Yes. And guys, this is in exploring it. See here. Can you create two IAM user called test1 and test2? And for test1 user, give full permissions. And for test2, give IAM read-only permissions. And can you log out and log in with the test1 account and verify permissions, and log out and log in with test2 account and verify permissions? Verify IAM permissions because you have given IAM. See whether what are the things that this test1 can do and what are the things that test2 can do, because you have given full permissions and read-only permissions. And also create a user called test3, and this test3, what the test3 can do is should be able to only create users, list user, get users, list policies. That's all. Nothing else he can do it. Do you remember? So based on this, can you select that GUI and then generate the policy and log in as test3 and verify the permissions, what he can do exactly? Yes. And switch roles. So guys, if you have your friend with you, get his account ID, and can you create a role and then log in, switch role to that your friend account, as I showed you? Yes. So this is all what I have showed you already. And the exploring task for you here is, this is purely optional, guys. This will take a lot of time, not lot of time. It will take it will take good exploring investigation. So guys, federation, I already did it. Okta setup to AWS. How do you set up? How do you connect? How do you set up Okta to AWS? So if you put it in Google, you will get the instructions. If you want to give a try, you can give a try. It is just purely optional. But if you do this, it will be really, really, really great. You will get good confidence. And if not, you can ignore it. It is just those who have good time, guys, get a free account in Okta and set up to AWS and create users in Okta and try to log in to AWS without credentials from Okta. See how this can be done. And this is all mandatory to do it, but this is only optional to do it. Take it. Understood, guys? So I'm deleting this test all. Yes. Screenshot of what? Of the task, huh? Yes. So guys, congratulations. We are done with IAM. Uh-huh. Guys, did you face difficulty of yesterday's task? Tell me honestly. Everyone answer. Ramakant, for this small thing only, if you say difficult, we have very, very big things coming in. The only thing what you should do is, Ramakant, take efforts, put it, spend time, right? Right? Please, so don't be in that feeling that it is difficult to remember. 100% no. You just need to take time and do it. Once you keep on doing it, it will be easy for you. Okay? Sibasis is asking, do we need to learn JSON scripting? Guys, do we need to learn JSON scripting? Answer it. If you have visual editor, but is it difficult to understand JSON script? No need, yeah. Yeah, any other questions? Where is the paint? Yeah, there is no paint here. This one I already showed. Switch role we discussed, na? Okay, now. Sony is asking in question number 4, bookmark meaning what? So if you are not listening properly, these are the questions that we get it. So that means Sony has not done the practicals, not even first task. Sony, huh? Any other questions? So here, do you see this? So this is the account alias. So I told you to bookmark this URL so that no need to go to Google and find out the link. Yes, this JSON at the moment here, it will be useful. Sagar, it will be really useful because this is useful for scripting. JSON is used for scripting a lot. But here for the policies, JSON will be used. But in normal scenarios for developers, JSON is really useful to do some scripting. Rahul, Python. Guys, yes, you have to be very energetic. First, let us start, Santosh. First, learn. We'll discuss that at the end. This is, oh my God, okay. Real time people understand my problem. So, Sagar is asking, will you tell any real time example for policies? The one which we have just discussed is the real time itself. So, um, let's say, Sagar, you are in my team and you are a junior. So, will I give admin access to you? No. Okay. So for Sagar, what I want is I want him only to create IAM users. So don't you? So now you have to write an inline. Now I have to write an inline policy and attach it to the Sagar user. And how to write an inline policy? And what is the requirement? He should be able to only create users, nothing else. Did we learn that how to write that inline policy and select based on the requirement? Yes, like this. These are all the real time. Guys, what we learn, all the things are real time only. The requirements will be different. Any other questions? Don't leave the class. While creating MFA, it's showing that error that your device is not supporting. So if your device is not supporting, what device is that? Phone, huh? What phone is that? Yeah. Mm. Check it based on your phone. I don't know what is that, Apple OS and all, but check it, guys. So I have my Oppo phone. So yeah, check it. This phone should support the apps, na, at least. So guys, now you are allowed to go to any YouTube channels or anywhere or any articles, go and read it because we are done with IAM. And Sagar, send me an email. I'll send an IAM material. And guys, I 100% sure that if you go and read any articles or YouTube, you will see much difference. You will just close that browser and you'll just keep quiet for sure. So that's how we have learned. And yes, you can. Hurry. Not related to AWS. MFA, you have app, na? In that app, you can set up Gmail MFA, Facebook MFA, you can set it up. Yes. Why not? Yeah. Yes, good. So I'm coming to that. Okay. Let me ask this. 2 sugar patients left already. That's fine. So, guys, I just wanted to give a small gift. You want or not? Okay, let me see how interested you are now. So, do you know DevOps? So, do you want to hear DevOps in my style in one class? This is just a hmm? If you're not interested, that's fine. This is not our job. This is not my job. But just wanted to give you more and more information as so. I think many people are interested, huh? Yes. Okay. So then that will be a gift from my side. So DevOps in Reyaj sir style. But if you if you join, and tomorrow will be that class. Saturday we have a class tomorrow, and I will be giving you the DevOps class tomorrow. And I I bet and I believe 100% by now you don't know what is DevOps and what are the things that the DevOps has. But after tomorrow, you will not be new to DevOps anymore. You can sit in front of the DevOps guy and you can talk about it in one class. Hmm? Okay, let's wait for that then. So and also guys, I will not be going deeper and deeper. Because that is not my class. That is not my piece of cake. Right? Same time, 11 to 12:30. But I'll give you the overview of the DevOps. Please don't go deeper and ask all the questions because it's not AWS, it is DevOps. Okay, just giving you an overview. Great, excellent. So meanwhile, please go ahead and then complete all your tasks and make sure that IM is completely uh, finished before you come to the next class. Okay, can you give me the final CC? Are you happy for the DevOps class? Yes. Give me the final CC for today. Yes. So that is all, guys, for today. And I'll see you tomorrow on the next class. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.